it is time to talk about Gamestonks, okay? It's the story of the day. Let me preface this by saying that I know for a fact that people are very emotionally driven when it comes to this thing. So no matter what advice I give you, you won't listen. Everyone's like, we're on together, and then we get to the top, someone's pulling out with all the money, and then you're stuck holding the fucking bag because you bought in 1,000 at peak. So that was what I said yesterday. That was when it was at its high point. Now, I had no idea what would happen today, and that is why I am changing my tune. Normally, I would be saying, I told you so, but I'm not, because I'm actually quite pissed off, and in fact, I'm pretty sure this stock would have still zoomed today had they not pulled every trick in the book, every sleazy, underhanded trick in the book. So let me show you why I need to explain what's going on. Because this is how most of you sound.
What's happening with GameStop?
Classic short squeeze.
What's a short squeeze?
What's a short squeeze? It's us versus them. There's a war being waged against the hedge funds, the billionaires.
Didn't you grow up in a gated community?
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't really feel that safe in it.
Can you define exactly what a short squeeze is?
Yes, they're borrowing the stock, the culmination of those elements.
Didn't you lose $5,000 last week? And
Yes, I did, and what I gained was invaluable.
True.
what?
She's not an income generating asset.
I love her.
That's a great video. That was a great video. Let's first explain what a short is. Really simply. All right? Just kidding. Just kidding. But a short is essentially a bet that a stock will go down. Okay, so essentially, let's say Ludwig stock is at $100. Okay? This is Ludwig stock. Wow. He is worth a lot of money. He's probably going to go down because people don't want to watch Among Us forever. So he's going to go down. Cutie has a bunch of Ludwig stock. So I'll say, Cutie, I will borrow some of your $100 Ludwig stock. Okay? And then you sell that stock. Or you immediately sell it at the current price. But what you tell Cutie is, I'm going to give you this stock back at a certain amount of time. So let's say she's got 10 shares. All right? She's got 10 shares at 100. So I say, Cutie, I'm going to take your 10 shares and I will give you $20 for letting me borrow them. Okay? But I guarantee I'll give them back to you in a month. I'm guaranteeing I'll give these back to you in a month, and I'm going to give you $20 for letting me hold on to them. That's what a short is, okay? So I take her shares, I sell them immediately at 100, and then I hope that it goes down to like 50, and then I just buy them back for 50. I give them back to Cutie. She doesn't know the difference. It's the same stock, but there's that difference. There's the $50 difference that I pocketed, okay? It only works if the stock goes down. If it goes up to 150, then I have to buy this $150 stock to give it back to Cutie because I still owe her the stock. You make money if the stock goes down. It's totally normal. But what was not normal about GameStop, was the amount of shorts. GameStop was a company that was right around here, okay? Between $20 and $50 a share. That's about what market value it was at. But right around here, the shorts started getting so severe and they were doing a lot of things to pressure the stock to go down, okay? And it got more and more shorted, and they got more and more money, and they got greedier and greedier, and they kept shorting it because it was downward trending. And so all these big hedge funds were risking billions, incredibly greedy to short it. And they were actually shorting, as in borrowing, more stock than there was available. Essentially, it's called a naked short when you sell it before you've even borrowed it. You're making a promise to sell it, and that only works if it guarantees goes down. It's called a naked short. So, which is also illegal. Naked shorts are illegal, but there's like loopholes that billionaires can use to find a way to do it. And when it got right around here, this is not Wall Street Bets yet, some smart investors like Michael Burry of The Big Short, and he saw that GameStop was making about the same amount of revenue as Chewy, but worth amazingly less. And he's like, wow, this stock is undervalued. Ryan Cohen. So Ryan Cohen was like, wow, this stock is GameStop still makes money. GameStop is not dead, all right? It's not a fucking growing company. It's not, I would not bet on GameStop for the long term, but it's not dead. It's not going to zero. So he's like, wow, this stock is way undervalued. So he bought a bunch. Michael Burry bought a bunch. Some smart guys bought a bunch. And Wall Street Bets picked up on that. And they started looking into it. And they started realizing this thing is so overshorted. There are so many bets this is going to go down that if we start to make it go up even a little bit, they're going to have to panic. When you sell what's called a naked short, that means you have sold stock that you haven't even borrowed yet. You don't have it. And so if it starts to go up, you need to quickly cover that bet because it can go up forever and you could lose $1 bazillion. So you have to buy stock. You have to buy it immediately so you have some to give back that you borrowed, okay? So with all of these people shorting all of these hedge funds, the stock started to rise. And then the hedge funds had to start buying the stock, which made it rise more and made the story seem true. So now Wall Street Bets is more excited, so they buy more. So the hedge funds have to buy more. And so it creates this cycle. That's the gamma squeeze, okay? That's the short squeeze. The last time a short squeeze this big happened, you didn't hear as much about this one because it was professional investors doing it instead of Wall Street Bets. And at this point right here, when Volkswagen hit the peak of the squeeze, it was the most valuable company on planet Earth for a moment. But the problem was now it was regular guys, a lot of them, again, a lot of millionaires too, by the way. The average people didn't make the most money out of this. It's still millionaires fighting billionaires. But anyway, average people below billionaires were making tons of money off of this, okay? And it was hurting hedge funds, billion dollar rich people hedge funds. And so we got what happened today, which I think is one of the craziest public scams in recent memory. Citadel Capital, who invested in one of the major people doing the short here, and is also one of the ways Robinhood makes their money. Let me explain real quick how Robinhood makes their money. People think Robinhood makes their money on the people's trades. They do not. There's a zero commission. The reason Robinhood got popular was because there's no commission. You can trade as many times as you want. They don't take a money. So how do they make money? Robinhood makes money by every time you make a bet on Robinhood, they sell the information about that to these major hedge funds. Is that legal? It is legal, but it's very unethical. It's very shady, and they go to great lengths to not talk about it. Robinhood's largest client and largest customer is Citadel Capital, okay? Citadel pays Robinhood enormous sums of money for the knowledge of what the traders are doing on Robinhood. So when they came knocking, that's like their boss. I mean, that's how Robinhood makes money. And they did not think of the customers as their boss. They thought of Citadel as their boss. And so they shut down trading, which is, I mean, that's blatant market manipulation. They stopped you from being able to buy. They only allowed you to sell. Again, like I said, and this is why I never believed in this, even though I truly support the general idea of, fucking over some hedge fund people. I think that's super funny and I'm on board. But as I said in the opening clip, people don't actually have diamond hands. I'm sorry, but they don't. Despite what it seems like in the smaller groups of Reddit, this is a broad thing now. But I have to be honest here, and this is where people aren't going to like what I'm going to say. If you are betting this money because it is the one chance you get sometimes in your whole life to fuck over a rich hedge fund asshole, and you don't care if you lose it, fuck yeah, dude. More power to you. But if you do need the money, if you think, oh, this is how I'm going to get the money to pay for my dad's surgery, or this is almost sure to end up losing you money. The odds are not on your side. There are a lot of forces, including human nature, against you making out with the money. And at the end of the day, GameStop stock is not worth this much. That is the core thing. That's the reason I didn't do it. We're all just trying to be the first one out. We're trying to hold it long enough to fuck them over, but then the second they get kind of fucked enough, you have to pull out first or you're left with nothing. One more thing I have to say, because people are getting this wrong a lot. So when you see GameStop stock at 193 or even like, let's say 300, let's say it's at 300, people were saying, wow, it's more valuable than Apple stock. Apple stock's only 137. That is completely wrong. And I'm not trying to make fun of you, but it's stupid as hell. That's not how stock works at all. Okay, the price is only comparable to its own stock. Apple is the most valuable company on earth. There's just more shares of Apple. Look at Berkshire Hathaway stock. It's worth $348,000 a share. That would mean it's more valuable than Amazon by like 100,000 times. You know what I'm saying? There's just not that many shares. If there's only a few shares, they trade for a lot. If there's a lot of shares, they trade for a little, but you add them all up. What's most interesting is that they were so brazen about market manipulation. This story yesterday wasn't that interesting to me. It was like, whatever, it was kind of fun, but I just knew that it would end up with the average person holding the bag, which it probably is still going to. The thing is, they're not just greedy on GameStop. They were greedy on AMC. They were greedy on Build-A-Bear. They were greedy on almost any of these like mall-based stocks that still have some revenue but are declining. And so today, they basically just called in all of their billionaire rich favors to stop millions of average people from being able to trade, which is so fucked. It's super duper fucked. And you know what's funny though? The amount of money they saved today, like the hedge funds, if GameStop stock had mooned today, they would have lost literal billions. So like whatever PR nightmare that Robinhood gets, they would rather take that hit than lose literally $50+ billion. I mean, now they could still lose it tomorrow, because what happened today, which was so cool, was that people were so disgusted and so unanimous in their anger, like they did 1 million one-star reviews on Robinhood, that a lot of the places that stop people from trading today are undoing it tomorrow, which means tomorrow we could be in for another rise. Now, again, my recommendation, as always, is to stay the fuck out of this thing. But if you believe in it and you want to stick it to the man, and you don't care if you lose your money, because you could make some huge gains, go for it. I mean, tomorrow's the day. So Dogecoin is completely stupid. Dogecoin is entirely a meme. There is nobody shorting Dogecoin. There is no rich guy to fuck over. It is just everyone betting that the meme will get bigger and they can sell, which is a Ponzi scheme. Dogecoin is worthless. Anyone buying Dogecoin is literally just part of a Ponzi scheme. They're just hoping someone else dumber buys in later. That's it. Routers says 70 billion was lost on GameStop short positions. That's fucking awesome. The fact that they fucked over the shorts out of $70 billion. But the thing is, these short sellers, the contracts they have, had the stock at like fucking $5. I mean, when they made these short contracts, it was like under 20, which means they still have to, that's like what they borrowed it at. So even if it's at 100, they're losing billions. They're losing billions and billions of dollars, even if it's here. Why don't the hedge funds just hold on? So here's the deal. When they borrowed it, when they borrow the stock to do the short, the contract that they make, because again, if I'm borrowing the shares from you and I'm going to sell them and pay you back later, we set a contract. I give you some amount of money to borrow them, and I say I'll pay you back in 1 month or 1 week or what. The contracts have a date, okay? And usually it's pretty soon. So when they borrowed all this stock, when it was like $5, hoping to go to $4, they said, we'll pay you back in a month or whatever, in 2 weeks or a month. And that time is coming due. And they're going to have to buy back all the stock they borrowed at $4 for $193 or $300. And it's going to bankrupt them. It's going to be massively bad. That's why they can't just hold. In a perfect world, they would just wait. They would just sit on their ass and wait, because eventually it's going back to zero. This is not going to stay up forever. But they can't wait. That's why the timing is so perfect. They have a very short window to pay back all the bets they made, and they have to get it down quickly. So they're literally pulling every dirty trick they can possibly do, because they have to get it down, or they're losing billions. And losing billions is, people will kill for that. I mean, they'll do anything. What does it mean people will give money to hedge funds? So let me explain what a hedge fund is, because I think a lot of you just think it's a rich guy with hedges. A hedge fund is that. It is a rich guy with hedges, but it's like this guy. Chris Hedges. Yeah, it's usually a rich guy or a team of rich guys that other rich people give their money to. So the hedge fund manager is usually rich himself, but he's not the only person who's putting the money in. A hedge fund manager is like, he goes around to other rich people and he's like, hey, give me your money. I'll invest it and make a good return and then take a little cut. And instead of investing it wisely or safely, they invested it in risky, naked GameStop shorts. So now, not only are they going to lose their own personal money, they've lost all the other rich people's money who they took from. There was that rich guy crying on the news in one of the just most disgusting acts of lack of self-awareness, just inhaling billionaire-level copium.
The reason the market is doing what it's doing is people are sitting at home getting the checks from the government, okay? And this fair share is a bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people. And, you know, I think it's inappropriate. We all got to work together and pull together. The reason the market...
We all got to work together and pull together to bankrupt GameStop so I make billions. What are you talking? They're working together and pulling together to attack you. The problem is, to hurt them, we have to hurt regular people. We have to hurt stupid people. To hurt rich people, some idiot has to buy GameStop stock at $350, vastly more than it's worth, to help drive it up. And they're probably going to get stuck losing all that money. It's a sacrifice. There's no way, it's not going to be a clean. It's not going to be like all the poor people win and the rich people lose. Even if we get them, it's going to result in a lot of people who don't have the money getting hurt. So that's why I am ambivalent. What we don't talk about is that there's other smaller hedge funds that are also jumping on board this money train to try and squeeze the big guys out of shorts, and they're putting in millions. Is it possible those hedge funds losing all their money crashes the market because they have to sell everything to cover it? Yes. So this is one of the scariest things. And I think I can't tell how much of it is real and how much of it is fear mongering by a well-paid PR machine that is trying to convince people not to invest in GameStop stock. But the worry is that if you are a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund who has billions and billions of dollars invested in a lot of different things. Let's say you have 1 million shares of Amazon, 1 million shares of Apple, 1 million shares of Tesla, and also you're shorting GameStop. If you start to lose billions of dollars on GameStop, you have to pull out of your other stocks to cover because you need the money. So you sell your Amazon, you sell your Tesla, which means Amazon and Tesla start going down, which means when people are like, oh, fuck, Amazon's going down, I better sell, which means they sell more, which creates a loop where the entire market can have a fucking gigantic crash because people memed GameStop. One thing I will say is Elon's goofy ass, dude. Let me tell you something. Elon's not... I don't need Elon Musk to be like, yeah, let's fuck over the billionaires. Come on, comrades. Elon, you're the richest man on planet Earth. Fuck you. Okay? I'm not a Papa Elon stan, but he's only doing it because Elon Musk hates short sellers because short sellers try to tank Tesla all the time. So now that this has happened, the rich guys are going to be a lot more careful. Okay? At least for a little while until they get greedy again. You're not going to see exposed, open, naked shorts that people can find and meme. It's just not going to happen. Everyone is drastically closing their positions right now. If you're thinking, oh man, this was great, when's the next one? I would be careful. Because the next one you hear about on Wall Street is going to be like a scam. On Wall Street bets, I mean. People are so hungry for more of this, they're going to jump on anything. They're jumping on Dogecoin, for Christ's sake. Dogecoin is a literal Ponzi scheme. Do you think it's too late to get in on GME? Like I've said, it's a complete crapshoot. Nobody knows what lengths they will go to. They could literally shut down trading tomorrow. What's the best time to sell? Well, if you buy tomorrow when it's spiking, this could go really high. Their short positions don't unwind. They're not all done tomorrow. I think if you bought tomorrow and it spikes like all day and ends up higher, you could hold a few more days. I mean, you could hold. I don't know. We'll have to check it out tomorrow, but you could probably hold. If you buy tomorrow and it spikes, I mean, there's a chance it goes fucking rip-roaringly high. What do you think will happen to Canadian brokers? I don't know. They'll fall off their moose. Who knows? Why would that matter? What's different about Canadian brokers than anyone else? I don't know. What a dumb question. What is hedging your bets? Hedging your bets is basically taking a bet that's the opposite of what you made. Like, to put it super simply, it's like if you bet all on red in roulette, and then you're like, oh, fuck, I could lose a lot of money. I'm going to bet some on black. That way, either way, I'm fine. I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible. How did they sell stock they didn't have? It's some financial tomfoolery, dude. Again, I'm an amateur. I'm a regular person. It's illegal to naked short sell, which is selling stock you don't have. So I don't know exactly how they did it, but essentially, like, you want to buy carrots from me, okay? So I show you this one carrot, and I'm like, yeah, I'll sell you a bag of carrots for $10. And you're like, okay, deal. We shake hands on it. And I'm like, I'll deliver it to you. I'll deliver it to you in a week. I'll deliver it to you. But you bought it. Then I don't have the bag of carrots. I only have one carrot. But you bought it for $10. So I can go to the store, buy it for $5, and come back to you. And as long as you never know I did that, the deal was fine. Okay? It was fine. But if I say, okay, I'm going to go get you the bag of carrots. Thanks for your $10. I'll get you the bag of carrots. And I go to the market and the carrots are $400. Then I'm fucked. And that's what's happening with GameStop right now. Okay? They said, okay, let me borrow your... They sold GameStop stock they didn't have, and they were going to go buy it back for cheaper, and they went to go buy it back, and it's fucking 1,000 times more than it was. And so they're freaking out. As I would be if I owed somebody all these carrots. Why don't you believe in diamond hands? Because of human psychology, and because not everybody is committed to the mission. But all the people that heard about this from their barber, or, you know, saw it on the news, or heard about it from a friend, or they're not diamond hands, dude. They just bought it because they thought it was going up. And the second they see it goes down, they fucking... Diamond hands, to explain it, is the idea that once people start selling, it creates a panic and a snowball effect. And then it starts going down to zero, okay? Once it goes down from somebody selling, more people sell, okay? And so everyone's like, hold diamond hands. Diamond is the hardest material. Hold on to your stock with diamond hands. Never let it go. That's what diamond hands means. Atrioc, I just realized you talked about unethical Wall Street is for an hour while wearing the fucking Enron hat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to my boys at Enron, dude. They've been doing it since the beginning. These fucking new school billionaires, they don't know how to defraud. They can't defraud like the boys at Enron did it. Those guys could commit a fraud, dude. The things Enron was doing make today look like nothing. Today was insanely unethical, but Enron, dude, Enron was every single month saying they made more money, telling Wall Street, I mean, literally publishing accounting reports that were completely made up, saying they made more money, driving their stock up, while literally losing money hand over fist. It was complete fraud.